Rich Brooks Show. Mashofsky Enterprises. Eimer Oswald Volvo. Bymark. Cellular One. The Oregon Club of Portland. The Rich Brooks Show.
Hello again, everybody. I'm Todd McKim, along with the coach, and welcome to this week's show. We'll take a look back at the Stanford game, have a special halftime feature on a couple of linemen who are native Oregonians, and preview next week's game as the Ducks travel to the desert to take on Arizona State. Well, Coach, coming into this one, Stanford had won 3 in a row. Your club had had a couple of problems the last 2 weeks or 3 weeks against teams like California and Washington. Yet going into this game, I think you felt, your players I know felt, and I think a lot of fans felt that this was a winnable football game. And for the first 2.5 quarters, it certainly was. Midway through the third quarter, it was 12-6, anybody's game, but then Stanford got a long touchdown, and after a turnover, another touchdown, and things kind of got away.
Well, I think if you look at the final statistics and see that Stanford only had 265 yards of total offense, you can see that it was a winnable football game. We felt we could hold Stanford, defense them reasonably well, but what we needed to do was produce some points ourselves, whether it be big plays in the kicking game or some nice plays on the offense. And the offense did have great field position, particularly early. The first 2 drives in Stanford territory, we felt we had to run the ball. We were not successful, obviously, and we didn't get the points we needed early in the game. We had the best field position we've had in many, many games. We just failed to capitalize on it.
Well, the Ducks have remained perfect this season, a little-known statistic, but we'll bring it out right now. You're 8 for 8 in the tossing of the coin. That's unbelievable.
That's right. Maybe we should change a new tactic and try to lose it.
Well, in this case, you don't even have a choice. It's Stanford. The visiting team always has the toss of the coin option, and Stanford didn't get it, so you elected to kick the football off as you have the last several years. And so Stanford will have the first possession. Let's take a look at the opening kickoff. Tommy Thompson, and this is one of those kicks that Glenn Milburn has a chance to maybe get it, and he just kind of lets it bounce into the end zone. Touchback. So Stanford takes over, 1st and 10 at the 20. Defensively, again, they tried to pound the ball inside, and they just did not have much success.
Good job there by Andy Connor along with Batista.
Stenstrom to throw for the first time, the loud pattern of Milburn, but runs out of bounds. Muhammad Oliver on the coverage. So it's 3rd down and 3 for the Cardinal.
Try a little screen pass out here. Romeo Bannison sniffed it out pretty good and chased Vardell out there, and Stenstrom wisely overthrew it.
So 4th down and a horrible punt by Stonehouse, and you were talking about that great field position. First possession starts at the Stanford 43.
Well, you can't ask for anything better than that, and we just don't do a very good job. They run a little stunt at the point of attack, and Burwell gets tackled for a yard loss.
2nd down and 11.
Counter play inside. We have a hole at the point, but we don't get the offside linebacker, and he comes across and makes the play.
So 3rd down and 10, a designed quarterback draw.
And big Heath Hyington out there just kind of missed his man, and we're short and have to punt the football or try to kick a 57-yard field goal. Even with the wind at our back, we didn't want to do that. And great play here by Muhammad Oliver. Catching the ball, you can catch it as long as your opponent isn't trying to field it, and he downs it on the 3.
They come in with Vardell. He's tough to stop inside. Gets 3 there. Now they try to go to the outside with Vardell. Not much there either. Gain of 2. 3rd down and 5.
Try to sweep to the bottom of the screen here, and Darrell Smith comes up, and then Batista comes and makes the tackle, and Smith helps him.
We'll take another look at that one.
Tackle for a loss here. The sweep out of split backs. You can see Batista coming in. Darrell Smith up there turns it back to him, and Batista makes first contact, and Darrell Smith cleans it up.
Batista, the leading tackler for you. He's played well this year.
He's had a very fine year. Nice hard run there by Shedrick up inside.
You start this possession at the Stanford 38. Gain of 4, then only 1. So it's 3rd down and 5.
Slipped there, had a pretty good hole, but somebody collapsed in from the outside to make the play. Counter play, we get to actually tackle for a 2-yard loss. Now we have to go to a 52-yard field goal with the wind at our back, and this is well short. Not one of his better attempts at a long field goal.
I think it's the first one he attempted in about a month. He's had
been
a
a
real
while.
dry October, kind of like the weather here in the Willamette Valley.
There's Vardell's strength right there. Look at him run over us. First Marcus Woods and then Herman O'Berry. What a fine football player he is. I'm really impressed with him. Look at him break tackles there.
Hard runner. Somewhat, in some respects, like Brad Muster a couple of years ago in that kind of size.
Screen pass out in the flat. They pick up about 10 yards on this one.
So it's 1st and 10 from the 23-yard line. Stanford gets on the board first. Stenstrom to Chris Walsh for the score.
Walsh turned Herman O'Berry around back there with a post corner move and gets open for the touchdown.
So Stanford gets on the board. So we pick up action, the kickoff. Ooh.
We just do a terrible job here. Can't get the handle on it, and start in just absolute terrible field position. Just one of the worst things that could happen to us. We run a play up inside to Burwell, picks up about 2 yards, and now Croston makes a mistake. He rolls the wrong way. He's supposed to roll the other way, and Burwell's supposed to block George, but Croston rolled over the top, and he got confused which way to go. Nice punt here on this punt after safety. Milburn mishandles it. This is a free ball. We can recover that. And unfortunately, it bounced up to him, and he does recover it.
Into the second quarter we go. Stanford is leading at 9-0. The Cardinals have the football, and they also have the wind in this quarter as they're going left to right. About a 10-mile-an-hour breeze at their back for this quarter. But it didn't help on the ground game there. Only about a yard for Milburn.
Nice play by Batista. Gets help from Matt LeBounty. Now Bardell takes it up inside, and Joe Farwell makes the stop.
3rd down and 6 for Stanford. But on this play, you were offsides, then they got called for delay of game, and then they didn't make the 3rd down, and then they punted, so you get it back.
Thanks for clearing all that up, Todd. Try a little screen there, and we cough up the football. Ronnie Harris gets hit and coughs up the football and gives Stanford great field position.
Yet the defense comes in and does a great job here.
Marcus Woods gets help from Farwell. See Marcus on a slant move, comes around the center, and gets Vardell in the smart place to get him. That's down around the ankles, because you hit him high, he has a way to...
He'll carry you.
Yeah, he breaks tackles.
3rd down and 9, and I think the arm was hit there by a good pass rush.
We got some good pressure up the middle and forced him to a field goal situation, which, you guessed it, they convert. It's been the other story.
You bring out the best in the opposing team's
we
kickers.
We certainly do.
Yeah. So it's 12-0, but from here through probably the next 15 minutes, you actually have the advantage on Stanford and play them well.
Well, you know, here we are. Now we get Shedrick up the middle. We run him several times here in a row. We're moving people. We're actually getting some yard. Now, why didn't we do that the first 2 series when we had great field position? And if we'd have done that, we'd have had field goals or touchdowns. Nice run there. Shedrick just lost his feet. He's upset. He knows it. He just kind of stumbled and fell. He really didn't get knocked down. Surprised to see a hole, I guess.
3rd down and 1. And Deshaun squeezes out about 3 and gets the 1st down. So you put together back-to-back 1st downs.
Yeah, here's a little...
That's that bounce option you put in.
That's the excitement play. We want to add a little excitement to our offense, so we kind of dribble the ball.
Well, I don't think Coach Munson is going to recruit Kyle as a dribbler. Now, there's the big gain that you're looking for and the athletic ability that Kyle does have.
So option play, fake the ball inside to Shedrick, which holds the inside people a little bit because we've had some success running on this series inside. And Kyle does a good job keeping this and turning it upfield for a 15-yard gain.
So a big gain. It's 1st and 10 at the Stanford 36. Shedrick inside, finds 4 more yards. After a loss of 2, it's 3rd down and 8. Just a little bit overthrown out of bounds. And so A little bit out of field goal range here, especially considering the wind situation, so you punt it away, but the defense gets the ball right back for you. Almost intercepted by O'Berry.
Nice play there by Herman.
And then on 3rd down and 10, about 6 minutes to go in the first half, Terrell Edwards gets a sack. 2 weeks in a row that Terrell's picked up a sack.
Well, he's starting to play real well for a young sophomore and make some big plays. He's got two, as you mentioned, 2 sacks in a row, and he put some good pressure on the quarterback most of the game. Screen pass out in the flat to Burwell, and you can see he's just not healthy yet. It's actually worse now than it was a month ago. It's gotten worse the last 2 weeks, his ankle.
That's too bad. 4th and 2. You like to go for it instead of trying for a long field goal, and Croston comes up with 13 yards.
Nice job. We got a little 3 tight end offense in there. Fake to Burwell inside. It's a pass run option. He sees a big opening, decides to pull it down and run, and then takes it back outside, picks up a key first down, gives us great field position again. Nice opportunity now to take it in for a touchdown, which we desperately need.
But on 2nd down and 7.
Oh my goodness, there we go. Make a bad play worse. That's
you know, Burwell did a remarkable job just to pick it up and make it only a 5-yard loss.
He did.
About 15.
Kyle just should have not attempted to pitch that ball. And here we throw out to Willie Tate in the flat on 3rd and long, and we don't pick up enough for the first down.
So Greg McCallum comes in and converts his first field goal since September against USC. It is good, so you're on the board. It's 12-3 with a little over a minute to go in the first half. Stanford tries to run out the clock. Vardell stuffed up a loss of 1.
First hit by Marcus Woods, I believe, in the backfield. And a nice job by Batista stepping up. Actually, it's Matt LeBounty, I think, that was in there first that time.
So that is the final play that we see in the first half. The Ducks will get the football to start the 3rd quarter of play as Stanford will be kicking off into the wind. Good return and great field position.
Great field position here around midfield. A big play in the kicking game gives us an opportunity, and we need to take advantage of it. See, it's a short kick held up by a pretty stiff wind, fielded on the 20-yard line. Sean fields it in full stride and splits the seam, and unfortunately lets the kicker make the tackle.
Aaron Mills made the stop right at the midfield stripe. Ball just nosed into Stanford territory. First play, Kyle stepped up, got himself set, and fired a strike to Ronnie Harris.
Little half roll action here, blocked by Burwell at the top on Garnett, and Kyle delivers the pass to Ronnie Harris for the first down.
2 plays gained no yardage, so it's 3rd down and 10.
This is a screen pass, a middle screen that he's supposed to throw, that the outside guy's coming free. He's got to unload the ball, and we had a chance. If he'd have got the ball off, that would have been maybe a very, very big play, because as you saw, they were in a blitz. Again, Tommy Thompson pins him deep. Willie Tate downs the ball on the 3-yard line.
So Stanford deep in their own territory. They try to pound it out, but again, Vardell, nothing there, only got 1, and so Stanford will be forced after this play right here to punt the football. Let's take another look at it.
Marcus Woods is going to penetrate into the backfield, you can see, and Romeo Bannison makes first contact behind the line, but Vardell falls forward to about the line of scrimmage.
So you get the ball back at the 38-yard line. Croston avoids some pressure, makes a good decision here, dumps it off to Burwell.
And Burwell looks like his ankle kind of collapsed on him as he tried to shake and bake and make a cut. You can see we're going to run a little play action pass here, and gets pressure from here, but a nice job by Tattersall, keeps George off of him, and he scrambles to the backside and sees Burwell shaken loose and just dumps the ball off to him. And Burwell carrying it very loosely, which I don't like, but he puts it away when he gets into contact area. Gets to the 9-yard line.
1st and goal. After a loss of 1, this is the second down play.
We had Thomason. We had several plays for him that we just didn't get him the football. He was open by a step or two several times, and Kyle threw off of his back foot and didn't get the ball there.
So McCallum in with the field goal, his second of the day, to make it 12-6. And now you're back in it, you're within a score, and yet Stanford comes up with a crushing touchdown at the end of this drive here.
This is a big series for Stanford because I think the momentum has started to swing our way. Nice play there by Batista.
Then on 3rd down and 3. A little rollout by Stenstrom, finds Pinckney, who hooks in the middle, and then he eludes a couple of tackles and is off to the races, and it is ruled that the ball crossed the goal line before Pinckney was out of bounds.
I don't know about that one, but we busted the man coverage. Actually, we had a man on him, and when Milburn came to the flat, the man that was covering Pinckney came off on Milburn, who was being covered by another man, and just freed a man up. It was just a busted coverage by us. Here we fumble a snap, but fortunately get it back.
I don't know how he got it back, but Kyle did, but that only delayed the impending disaster.
It's a very, very bad decision. There's 2 people upfield. The ball should have been kept. At worst, we get a yard loss, but instead we turn a bad play worse by giving up the football. Good defensive stand here. Nice play by Farwell coming up and meeting Vardell in midair. And on 4th and 1, they're going to come to the bottom. But here's the play again. Vardell goes, but so does Farwell. And he meets him head-butting. Both of them look like they're carrying a football, jumping for the touchdown. Real nice defensive play there. And then they come to the outside, and we're a little too soft on the corner, expecting an inside run, and they get in for the touchdown.
So a tough break there as Stanford capitalizes on the turnover and breaks it open, leading 26-6 with 4 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. 3rd down and 1 here. This is a series that it's just short yardage. You need to somehow make something happen.
That's a busted blocking assignment. And here's the fake. Now we're supposed to carry it over, and they would have flowed to the play a little bit, but he takes 2 steps and throws it back. Didn't even sell the play, and there was no reason to do that.
We pick up the action in the 4th quarter with Stanford having the football and the Ducks trying to prevent the Cardinal from getting into the end zone. This is a 2nd down and goal from the 15, and big sack there by Connor and Farwell.
We're in a blitz, man-to-man coverage, faking a screen out here. They're going to go back to a screen the other side, but we've got the man covered, and Farwell and Connor get a half a sack apiece. They both get there about the same time.
So it's still goal to goal. Stanford just trying to get some field position for a better field goal attempt, and Milburn gets stuffed for a 1-yard loss.
Romeo Bandison makes the play for a yard loss. And the defense saved the old coach from the bad fake punt deal, and actually Stanford gets out of this with no points.
That's right. Field goal attempt is no good. So the Ducks get the football back. Go to the air. Poston to Willie Tate, who's now in there because Vince Ferry had been injured in the 1st quarter. Nice catch.
His first catch, I believe, as a Duck. His 2nd catch.
He had one earlier in that game, a little out pattern on 3rd down.
Right, he did. That's right. Nice job by Kyle. Good job by Bud Bowie out there in the protection. Willie gets the reception, starting to recover from a badly sprained ankle that's bothered him most of the year.
So, 1st and 10 inside Stanford territory, and I guess this is what continued to frustrate you. I think you had 5 drives that started inside Stanford territory, and just only one of them resulted eventually in a score. Ball thrown out of bounds on 2nd down. This is 3rd down.
Trying to get the ball to Thomason. He forced it inside, and it should have been intercepted.
A couple of series later, both teams unable to move it. Stenstrom trying to go to Walsh, and Muhammad Oliver.
What a great athletic play this is. Muhammad shows why he won the high jump championship of the Pac-10 in the track meet last year, as well as being a great decathlete. Watch this leap over in front of Walsh and pulling in the interception. Just a great play.
Great play, but the offense unable to move it. Stanford gets it back. This is their final drive of the ball game. Milburn still in there with 4.5 minutes to play.
knocked out by Herman O'Berry.
Gain of 26, so that put them over 100 yards rushing. They had been below 100 yards rushing until this point.
Eric Castle makes the play. Outside, we've got basically our first-string secondary and our second defensive front in there right now. Castle makes the play for basically no gain.
Second down and goal from the 4.
Sweet play to Milburn back in the game, and Coda tackles him for a yard loss.
Under 3 minutes to play.
See the replay on the sweep here again. Good job by Brian Rockwell from Davis, California, sophomore outside linebacker, and Coda gets up there, gets help from Joe Baggio, who's seeing double duty on both sides of the ball.
That's right, offensive center and now defensive lineman in this game. And then on 4th and goal, Stanford throws for the touchdown. Stenstrom to Walsh, and that completes Stanford scoring on the afternoon. So you got one final possession. Bobby Brothers had already been in there for one possession, so this will be his second one. You get a good kickoff return here by Donovan Moore.
Donovan Moore finds a crease in the Stanford coverage and gets it out near midfield.
Take a low-angle look at what it's like to be a return man.
It was kind of a disorganized return because of the bouncing kick, but Donovan made the most of it with a 30-yard return.
So, 1:15 to play. Bobby Brothers in there and will complete 3 straight passes. The first one to Moore on a screen back.
Screen to Donovan Moore, gets knocked out of bounds deep in Stanford territory.
Take another look at this one.
Little flow screen, we're going to flow to the top of the screen. Donovan Moore comes down to the bottom. And nice job by Brothers executing the screen pass.
You've also got a completely new offensive line in here as well. Some guys getting some playing opportunities. So, Donovan Moore gets 20. Then on 1st and 10 from the Stanford 33, Brothers rolls out and will hit James Jesse. Good for 19.
Nice catch by Jesse, staying on the boundary in this situation. See Brothers on the nice rollout here, getting over very close to the line of scrimmage as he releases the ball, and Jesse does a great job keeping his feet in bounds.
So then 1st and 10 from the Stanford 14-yard line. Brothers, good play action fake. Brian Brown in the corner of the end zone for the touchdown, and that is our play of the day. Tell us what happened, Coach.
Well, this is basically the same play that Walsh scored on us, the first touchdown Stanford had. We're running a little play action pass this way, faking to the tailback off tackle to the offense's left. Brian Brown out at split end out here is going to come in and make a post move. He loses the corner. Actually, the corner even fell down with the little wrinkle he gave him, and he's wide open, and Brothers hit him in the corner of the end zone.
Great execution by the Ducks, and let's watch it again. See, Brothers hit as he releases, and Brian Brown, I believe that's his first touchdown as a receiver. He had a punt return for a
his
touchdown.
first touchdown as a receiver. He did have the 86-yard return for a touchdown last year against Arizona State.
And with a point after by McCallum, that is the final scoring in this ball game. The Stanford wins it. Final score 33-13 in a game that was much closer than that final score would indicate. After the contest, our Walt Fox went into the Oregon locker room and talked to some of the players about what transpired and what's in store next.
We just had to stay low. We played against them last year, and they didn't score any points. Approach we took is just play our base defense and just fire out hard, and then we should be able to control them. I mean, I played against just as big as guys. I'm just as big as they are, so it's not that much of a difference.
The best thing for the team is just doing the things that taking what they give you, taking what they give you, and sometimes when you try to make things happen, it doesn't work out as well. But for the most part today, I think we were there. We just needed to keep it clicking. Some of the times, we broke ourselves down, and if we just kept it clicking, I think we'd been all right, because we were down by 6 there for a while, and if we would have went in and put a touchdown in, I think it would have been a different game.
The first series didn't feel real good. I didn't get a chance to warm up real well. They said I was going in, so I went and grabbed the ball, threw it a couple times, about 10 yards, real soft, and got the ball back. So I was a little nervous going back in there, and the arm wasn't warm, but after I got a chance to warm up and went in the second series, felt real good. We ran a play pass X corner is what it's called, and I looked back to AJ, and his man fell down, looked like, or stumbled, and so I just got the ball to him.
Basically, we put in a new play called, dive, and there's, as my coach said earlier in the week, it's just a power running play, and so we did that with a little success at it. It's just at times it failed us because, the backs weren't breaking tackles like we need to. The line was doing well, we just have to be able to break tackles, and when there's nothing, make something. It's a matter of consistency. We can't go out there and shoot ourselves in the foot every time. Turnovers is something that's hurt us, and we probably lead the Pac-10 in turnovers right now, and we can't do that if we want to have a little success.
Guys on the team right now maybe are just a little frustrated, but I don't think they're discouraged. Hey, we know right now that things aren't going our way, so we just got to keep working harder, trying to, get things right.
I kind of tried to bait the quarterback into throwing it because Walsh isn't the fastest receiver that I've faced, and I knew that I could close pretty good if the ball was thrown. And so I gave him a little bit of space. As I looked back at the quarterback, he saw that Walsh, had some space between us, and he hung the ball up there. And I kind of timed it because I was going to go for the bat down at first, and then when I jumped, I realized I could actually catch it because I had pretty good position, and I caught it, and it's my second interception. We have a great defense, and I think that just about every week this season we've lived up to our potential. However, we've been put in bad situations a lot, but we've come out feeling pretty good about each situation. But we're a team, we're a whole unit, and it makes it very difficult if the offense isn't moving the ball. But we're behind them all the way.
Coach, I'm Todd McKim. Thanks for joining us this week, and we will see you next week.
This is the Rich Brooks Show, featuring the Oregon Ducks. Brought to you in part by Taylor Electric, Mashofsky